What's up guys, and welcome back to part 3 of this Mercedes mobility minibus campervan conversion. So if you're new to the series or new to the channel, parts 1 and 2 of this conversion so far have included taking out all of the old minibus flooring, fully painting and wax oiling all of the chassis throughout, so that's fully protected for many more years to come. I've also been in and I've fully removed all of the headlining, all of the old insulation, as you can see. So before it starts getting built back out, I'm going to be going up onto the roof and I'm going to be mounting these two 270 watt solar panels. That's going to give 540 watts of charging power going through into the batteries when they're all mounted inside. But I do need to get these solar panels mounted onto the roof before I can then get back inside the vehicle and start insulating the roof headlining and putting brand new headlining all the way along inside the interior. So as I say, I've got these two solar panels. I'll put links in the description of the video for the solar panels that I'm using, the mounting brackets, the cable and things like that. So if you're going to be mounting any sort of similar panels, or you're looking to buy some panels like these, just have a look in the description of the video. There'll be links going over to probably eBay where I've got panels like these, as well as all the mounting brackets, things like that, all the cabling, the solar controllers. These are the mounting brackets I'm going to be using, the Z-shaped brackets. They just secure to the underside of the panel and then they'll secure onto the roof itself. I'm going to be using 10 of these brackets, 5 on either side of the panel, just to be sure that the panels themselves are not going to be going anywhere at all. Now because these are getting drilled through a fiberglass roof, now I'm going to have to be securing the bolts that are coming through the roof on the inside, again just to be sure that there isn't going to be any sort of cracking to the fiberglass roof, because obviously fiberglass is a little bit more chip prone rather than drilling through things like steel roofs, aluminium roofs, things like that. So because it's a fiberglass roof, I'll probably just put a sheet of ply on the inside as well, and the ply will help spread out the load of the bolts coming through for the panels. That's what I did on the previous bus that I did as well, and that worked out beautifully. So I'm going to be doing the same on this one, and I'm going to be mounting a panel either side of the skylight, so there'll be one behind it and one in front of it. So first things first, I'll get the brackets mounted to the panels. We'll get the panels then up onto the roof. I'm going to give the roof a wash first as well, just because obviously once the panels are in place, you won't be able to get underneath them to wash them in the future. So I'll give the roof a good wash first, get the panels up, holes drilled through the roof, get them secured on the inside with locking nuts as well. And hopefully by the end of this video we'll have the panels fully mounted on, and maybe some other bits and bobs done during this weekend as well. So I'll get cracked on, get the mounts connected onto all of the panels, and I'll say we'll get the roof all washed down as well. We'll get them mounted on and see what it looks like when they're all in place. Right, so there we go, that is all 10 of the mounting brackets secured to each solar panel. So as I say, that's going to be 20 mounting points in total for the two panels, so these panels are not going to be going anywhere when they're fully mounted up onto the roof. So now I'm going to get up onto the roof, give it a good clean down, because as I say, once the panels are in place, there's not going to be any chance of getting underneath to clean the roof again. So I'll get up there, give it a good clean down, then we'll pick it back up when the panels are ready to get mounted on the roof. Right, so as you can see, I'm just propping up some 9mm ply up against the ceiling of the fiberglass. So when I'm going to be drilling through from the solar panel mounts, I'm going to be going through the fiberglass, through this plywood panel as well, and then when the nuts get secured up onto the bolts, they're going to be getting secured into the plywood rather than the fiberglass, and that just means that it's going to be reducing the amount of stress that's going to be on each mounting point, and it's basically going to be dispersing the entire stress of mounting the panels across the entire ply panel as well as the fiberglass roof. If I was just bolting through the fiberglass roof itself without this ply panel in place, I fear that over time it might start to degrade the fiberglass, maybe start to crack in places. So I'd say this is the best way that I've came up with that's going to ensure that the panels are going to be mounted, there's going to be no damage to the fiberglass roof, and they're going to stay waterproof for as long as they're actually going to be mounted. So I'm going to get up on the roof, start drilling some holes through, and we'll start getting it mounted. Right, so that's all the holes drilled through the brackets, through the fiberglass roof and through the supporting ply panels underneath. So to be sure that there's going to be absolutely zero chance of any water getting through any of these holes, I'm going to be using some Sikaflex 221. I'm going to be putting this underneath the brackets, between the bracket and the fiberglass roof. Then I'm also going to be putting a good smothering around all of the bolts that are going to be going through. So all of the holes are effectively going to be getting double sealed with Sikaflex. So there's going to be zero chance of any water getting through any of these mounting holes. So I'm going to get these brackets all lifted slightly up so we can get these Sikaflex underneath, so there's a nice sandwich of adhesive. Then we'll crack on and get all the bolts through, get those sealed in as well, get them secured, and that'll be the panels all mounted on. So I'll get the sealant in between all the brackets and the roof, and then we'll get the bolts in and get those sealed in as well. Right, so now the panels are all mounted on the roof. The only thing I've got left to do now is to run the cables through the roof itself. Now because I've got two panels, I've got two sets of cables, so I'm going to be using an IP65 rated waterproof junction box. It's just going to have a hole drilled straight through the ceiling, straight through, with lots and lots of Sikaflex sealant, just to be sure that it's going to be fully waterproof as well. So I'm just going to have to drill one hole for that, get the cables fed in, make sure everything's fully watertight around the box itself. Once the cables are through, that'll be pretty much these solar panels all mounted and done for the day. So I'll get some sealant ready, get some holes drilled, get the cables fed, and we'll have a look and see what it looks like when it's all done. Right, so there's the junction box fully fitted with all the cables going through it, and that is more than waterproof. I'm more than happy that there's not a single drop of water is going to get through there at all, because the box itself has a full bead of Sikaflex going around the bottom of it. There's another bead going around the external where it touches the roof, and then where all the cables going through the rubber grommets. The rubber should keep all the water out, but again I've just put a little bit of extra sealant around all of the entry holes just to be sure. And again, where the main cables go through, the hole that I've drilled through the roof, that's also got an abundance of sealant in that as well. So as I say, there's just no chance any water's going to be getting in there whatsoever. So now I've just got to screw the cap back on, and then that's going to be the cables mounted and routed through. And then I'll show you what the cables look like coming through on the inside. And there's the cables coming through the roof from the junction box on top of the roof as well. As you can see, I've paired the cables up so I know which cables are coming from which panel, because if you're mounting more than one panel, you need to make sure that you know which positive and negative are coming from each panel, because you don't want to be connecting a positive from one panel and a negative from the other, because then nothing's just going to be working at all. So just a little bit of tape around each one so I know which panel is which, and that's pretty much all I can do with the solar panels now, because as you can see, I don't have any flooring down, I don't have any batteries or a solar controller. But I needed to get the panels mounted on the roof so I can then crack on and get the rest of the roof on the inside fully insulated with a new headlining put up, because obviously all of the panels have been bolted through the fiberglass, so I had to do it now while I've got good access to all of the roof area. So that will do it for this episode now. As I say, that's 540 watts of solar panel power waiting to be getting connected up when I've got something to connect it up to. So I hope you found this video useful. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button to follow along with this conversion. There should be weekly updates showing pretty much what I've been able to get done on the conversion every weekend. So hit the subscribe button and follow along with this conversion. If you found the video useful, give it a good old thumbs up as well. It always helps the channel. And if you've made it all the way through at the end of the video, as I say, give it a thumbs up. It really does help a lot. And thanks for watching. As I say, pop back next week. Hopefully there'll be another update next week with another progress video showing a little bit more progress on the conversion. So thanks for watching. Cheers.